Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is July 13th, 2025, and Gerard Pique is interested in two Barca Athletic players, and I'm going to tell you who they are. Also, Barcelona are set to resume talks with Frankie de Jong in regards to his contract renewal. And finally, Marcus Rashford saying no to Saudi Arabia as he awaits Barcelona's phone call. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that Alex Costa has officially signed with Sevilla Atletico, or Sevilla B, which is the reserve team of Sevilla. Now, Alex Costa is someone I mentioned a few days ago. He's a 22-year-old center forward who was playing at SD Ponferradina in 3rd Division. He had a pretty impressive season, and as such, Sevilla contacted him to sign him for their reserve team. And while he was set to sign that contract, everything was agreed to. He had even undergone medical testing. Barcelona made a phone call to see if he would be interested in joining Barca Athletic. Alex Costa completely paused all negotiations with Sevilla to see what Barcelona had to offer. But as I told you in that video where I announced this news, his family insisted that he should, honor his word and still join Sevilla. And well, lo and behold, that's exactly what has happened. Sevilla has made this signing official. So it looks like Alex Costa will not be joining Barca Athletic. Now, speaking of Barca, well, actually not Barca Athletic, but Juvenil A, the Barcelona under-19 youth team, they have lost an important player whose name is Iman Cospo. Now, Iman Cospo is an 18-year-old center back who spent last season with Juvenil A, who won the treble. They won their league group. They won the UEFA Youth Champions League, and also the Youth Copa del Rey. He had 12 appearances total, including 3 in the Youth Champions League, and he had a pretty good season. In fact, Hansi Flick ended up calling up to one of the trainings with the first team, but now it seems like Iman Cospo has decided to go somewhere else, more specifically to Fiorentina, where Barcelona have reached an agreement with the Italian team for the transfer of Iman Cospo for 1 million euros, where Barcelona will retain a percentage of any sell-on clause. So it looks like Barcelona lose, a promising youngster, but not a big loss for Barcelona after all. We have an incredibly overbooking in the center back position, not to mention plenty of good center backs in Barca Athletic as well. Now, speaking of the academy, it's reported that Gerard Pique has requested the signing or the loan of 2 players, and those players are the Fernandez cousins. Guille Fernandez, who is all the way on the right in the picture. He's a 17-year-old center midfielder who can also play as an attacking midfielder. And of course, his cousin Tony Fernandez. He is the second one from the left. He's a 16-year-old right winger who can also play as a second striker. And Pique, who is the owner of FC Andorra, who have been recently promoted to 2nd Division, is interested in taking both players on loan because, as I reported in a previous video, since Gerard Pique has a really good relationship with Joan Laporta, of course, and the club, there's this kind of agreement where Barcelona might end sending them players from the academy on loan. That way, Andorra get reinforced. Now they're going to be in 2nd Division, and Barcelona benefit from this because, of course, Barca Athletic have been relegated to 4th Division. So these players are going to get much more development and growth and learning by playing in 2nd Division versus 4th Division. So now Pique eyeing Tony and Guille Fernandez. Now, as far as Guille Fernandez, it's less likely that he's going to find a spot on the first team since he does play as an attacking midfielder, and we have so many midfielders. So he's more likely to go. We'll see, or he might stay at Barca Athletic. As far as Tony Fernandez, he might have a spot on the first team because, after all, he does play as a second striker, as a right winger. So if Pau Victor ends up leaving, which is looking like it, then maybe Tony Fernandez could get some minutes with the first team. Of course, all this is just preliminary. We'll see what happens. The 2 of them might end up staying. They might end up leaving. We'll see what happens. Now on to the next bit of news, because as I mentioned in the first video, today all the players reported to medical testing, and another player who also reported to that medical testing is Rooney Barji, because as I've reported in previous videos, Rooney Barji has already underwent his first set of medical exams. He reported today to the Ciudad Esportiva to undergo the second set of medical exams with Barcelona. We're set to examine him with lots of detail, especially that knee, because he suffered a very serious ACL injury, and they want to make sure that his knee is fully recovered. And if he does pass the medical exams, Barcelona will finalize the signing of Rooney Barji from FC Copenhagen for around 2 to 2.5 million euros. And while there were pictures posted all over Barcelona's social media, Instagram and Twitter, and then a few moments later were deleted because, of course, Barcelona have not made this official, this signing official yet. So that's why they were removed. But they did forget one picture on their website, and that's the picture that I was able to find. But nonetheless, Rooney Barji was at the Ciudad Esportiva today. Hopefully, Barcelona will announce or will make his signing official during this upcoming week. Now, on to the next bit of news, because Barcelona are set to begin talks once again with Frenkie de Jong for his contract renewal. Now, as you know, Barcelona have been trying to renew Frenkie de Jong's contract for quite some time, almost 2 years. There was a lot of obstacles in the way where Frankie's agent was not answering the phone, was refusing to meet with Barcelona. Finally, it turns out it was the agent who was putting all these obstacles in the way. So Frenkie de Jong has hired a lawyer to try to end the relationship with his agent, Ali Dursun. And he communicated to the club that he was very interested in renewing his contract, is even willing to, reduce his salary or restructure his salary to help Barcelona's financial fair play. But so far, the negotiations had been paused because Frenkie de Jong was still trying to figure out his whole agent situation and see who can represent him. There was talks about maybe Pini Zahavi stepping in. But for now, Barcelona have decided that they will resume talks with Frenkie de Jong. This is going to be done, face-to-face versus throughout an agent. Or who knows, maybe Pini Zahavi will step in. As you know, yesterday, Jean Laporta was seen meeting with Pini Zahavi and Hansi Flick. Maybe they discussed that. We don't know. But we do know that Barcelona will be resuming talks with Frenkie de Jong to extend the contract of the Dutch midfielder, which expires next summer. So Barcelona need to renew it this season, or of course he could leave as a free agent. Not to mention, restructuring Frenkie de Jong's salary will go a huge way in helping Barcelona's financial fair play, because as we know, Frenkie de Jong has the highest salary on the squad, a salary that Barcelona simply cannot afford. Now, on to the next bit of news, because as I've mentioned in previous videos, or I guess in yesterday's podcast it was, if I remember correctly. No, we didn't do a podcast. We did a video. But as I mentioned in yesterday's video, this week, starting tomorrow, Monday, July the 14th, Barcelona will officially reach out to Manchester United and Marcus Rashford in order to begin negotiations for the signing of the Man U attacker on a one-season loan. Now, it's reported that Manchester United are already expecting Barcelona's phone call after news broke that Hansi Flick had greenlit this operation. And of course, they're already saying that Man U are okay with a one-season loan, even though at the beginning of the summer they were saying, no, we're only going to accept permanent transfer. They are okay with a loan, but this is where the problem resides. It looks like Man U are expecting a one-season loan with an obligation to buy, where Barcelona, of course, are looking for a one-season loan with an option to buy, because they want to see, if Rashford fits in or not. And if he doesn't, they can send him home. And if he does, of course, then trigger that option. So we'll see how these negotiations go. But just know that Barcelona will begin talks during this upcoming week. Now, it's being reported in Italian media that Juventus are now eyeing Marcus Rashford. They are interested in signing him. But as you know, Rashford is only interested in Barcelona. And also, new reports stating that Marcus Rashford just rejected a multi-million-dollar offer from Saudi Arabia because, again, he's only interested in joining Barcelona. Now, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.